Hello and welcome to the NMCA Way. Michael Chekhov. We are on the topic of characterization as a broad series, and today's particular tool or technique or grounds is the imaginary body. I am Lisa Dalton, president and co-founder of the National Michael Chekhov Association, and here is my colleague.
Hi there, Wil Kilroy, the Vice President of the National Michael Chekhov Association, one of the founders. And so today, as Lisa said, we're working with imaginary body. Ideally, you would want to do a physical warm-up so you're really in touch with all aspects of your physical self. So if that hasn't happened for you today, you could pause for a minute when you're watching this and just do a little warm-up, get everything loose, get in touch with everything from head to toe. Make sure your imagination is open and ready to be engaged, because as the exercise is, it's about imaginary body, so you want to be able to just jump in. So what we're going to do first is try to get your imagination going by you looking at a portrait, and this is sort of a cartoon style, and you could use any portrait for this. It could be realistic, cartoon, it could be period. Some points in your career, you might be playing a historical character or be in a piece that's based on someone from real life, and you'll really want to study and emulate that. But for this, it's really just digging into your imagination. So what I'd like you to do is to just look at this character portrait and let your imagination enter into this picture. And obviously, with all of the exercises that we're going to be doing in the next 10 or 15 minutes, you would want much more time with this, but we want to give you just a little taste. So you're looking at this, and right now just look at the character's feet. And if you want to stand up, that might be helpful too. So you might stand and just think about the character's feet. Certainly you can put your feet into the same position as the feet that are in this portrait. But then you'll want to feel, how do those feet activate? How do they move? They're in a little bit of almost a first position from ballet right now. But then how do they move? And are those feet very heavy? Are they thin and narrow feet? You can obviously see the shoes on the feet. And then thinking about working your way up to the legs of this character. What are those legs like under that clothing? Are those legs very strong and limber? Are they tight and rigid? Thinking about the legs, working your way up through the hips, working your way up through the torso of the character, working your way up. You can see the arms. You might take a moment to put your arms the way the character has the arms. But then what if this character was now moving and gesturing? How would those arms change from what position you're seeing? And even the costume this character is wearing, that should play upon your imagination. This tight coat and the collar that's tight. How is that neck? Is that just a short, narrow neck? Does it feel like it's very flexible or tight? And then looking at the whole face and the facial expression, you can get an idea of what type of character you'd want to create. And there's no right or wrong to this. It's your own interpretation working with your own imagination. So we might have half a dozen different interpretations of this. So just thinking about that face, even the hairstyle, and really taking that onto yourself via your imagination. Even though your physical body's not going to change right now, you can change it just in your imagination. And you can step into this portrait and become that portrait. So just take a moment to move, maybe try a few gestures, maybe even pick up an object that's near you, how you would pick up that object, how you would look out your window. Some of you have windows there, or open a door, or pick anything up, which can be imaginary or in your environment there. And then think about the breath. How does the breath change? Think about the breath of the character and take a little touch of sound as you exhale. And surprise yourself where your voice lands. Is it high? Is it low? Is it nasal, denasal? Is it a little rough? What is that voice that just tends to be? And let that sound develop into one word, and everybody just come up with one word that just seems to flow right out of this character. Just a word. Maybe it's just a hello. Maybe it's something else that comes to you.
Day.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Good day. Right.
And just take a moment now and take your hands and run them all the way up your body, up to the sky, and toss that character up there. So this character will be there whenever you might need that character. And Andrea is going to continue on with imaginary body.
Let's take our finger and just move it up and down and just feel what that feels like for you. And then we're going to look and using our imagination, we're going to see a kind little man. And we're going to notice that he's moving his finger the same way that we're moving our finger, just up and down. Really look at what he's doing and notice where he's moving his finger up and down, and then just you start moving your finger like his. How does that change? What are your joints able to move as easily? Are you moving it slowly, fast? What does that look like for you? Is there arthritis in the joint? Does he have arthritis? And we're just going to let that recognize and notice how that feels. And let that enter into your elbow, into your shoulders, into your legs, and come down your body all the way through your feet. And does that change your posture? How does that make you, if you want to move, if you feel like you can move, what does that look like for you? How does that movement work? Are you as stable on your feet? Are you moving as quickly? And then just notice what that feels like for your body. And just notice the changes in your body. How do you feel? Do you feel as energetic, as lightful? Is it harder? And as your posture has changed, do you look more like what the little man looks like? Now we are going to say thank you to our little old man and let him go back up into our imagination, into the imaginary world. And I'm going to hand it over to Anne.
Hi. So what we're going to do is we're going to think about that image that Wil introduced us to. And we're going to imagine that a cat, his cat, has just walked into the room. This is going to be the thinking cat. The cat has just walked into the room, and the cat has just lifted his tail. And the cat, who's yellow and marbled, is now moving around the man's feet. So in this, yes, he's moving, and it's a male cat. He's marmalade, and he's moving around, and his tail is up, and he is rubbing up against the man. That's right. The man now uncrosses his legs. He broadens his feet. He's now going to reach down, pick up the cat, and the cat crawls up his shoulders and hangs around his shoulders. And the weight of the cat makes the man slump. He slumps. He's now going to walk slowly with the cat on his shoulder, and the cat begins to make a sound. And the man echoes that sound.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. You're now going to move toward the bookcase of fear. I'm walking over to the bookshelf, and the cat is then going to get off. going to pick up that image of the man with the marmalade cat, and up it goes, up into the sky, the man with the cat. And I send it off to Jeff.
All right, everybody. We have thrown some images up into that sphere of images, and now I'm going to invite you to pull one down. That image is Don Quixote, Don Quixote de la Mancha, the mighty knight, who has two forms, Don Quixote and Alonso Quijana. We're going to begin with Alonso Quijana, the man who believes himself to be Don Quixote. He is an older gentleman, so pull that image of Alonso Quijana down in front of you. See his feet. See his withered and older legs move up to his shaky knees, to his hips, move up to his torso, and his thin, frail arms. And as you look at him, step into that image and take that into your body and feel Alonso Quijana begin to move around. Maybe there's a struggle in reaching for something. This man who has lived a very long life, who has so many stories inside of him, written as if on his skin. And slowly, we're going to strengthen parts of our body and bring in Don Quixote, starting with our feet. Make those stronger. Fill those calves out with muscle. Bring it up to the hips and square yourself off. Strengthen up the torso to the chest. Strong arms. Forward gaze. And now begin to move around as Don Quixote. How is this different? How is your breathing different as Don Quixote? And take that image and wrap it all up and throw it back up into the atmosphere. And I'm handing it off.
I want to add something to your body. And if you go just neutral, in a neutral stance, and imagine that you have this a dark black mustache. It's long and it's curly. You know, it goes like this. The mustache is going whoop with a loop, yeah? So take a minute and imagine it, because we need to really put it there. And bring your focus to this place, to this mustache, and this will be your center of attention. And now start to move your neck. And let the mustache really do the work. And now turn to another direction. And how is it different from your movement, from your regular movement? And start walking with it. And it's black and it's curly. See it. And try to say a few words with it.
Hello.
Maybe Maybe say something to a partner here.
Hello.
This is ridiculous.
Is my reservation ready yet?
Preposterous.
Right this way.
And
You
We
are
can-
leaving.
we can do this and take it off and throw it away. And Paul, did you manage?
So here's the image. I'd like you just to really just take some time to look at every detail of this picture and let it start to absorb into you. The way she's sitting, how she's holding that glass, how she's setting her hand against her cheek, the pearls. What kind of a person is this that you would look at? What does she do for a living? What is her psychology? What is she thinking right now? How does her body move? Notice how she is sitting. Legs crossed. Look at all those rounded edges and the softness. Draw everything you can from that you see in that picture. And then close your eyes. Once you get a really good image of that picture. And slowly let that character start to drop into you, almost like Star Trek. It just drops down into you, pieces by pieces by pieces by pieces, down into your feet, into your legs. Maybe just incorporate those first. Maybe cross your leg just for a second. Feel that rounded sitting position. The roundness that she has, the gentility. And just let that continue to drop into you, into your torso, into your entire being. Your entire being is full of that person that you see in your imagination. And once she completely fills all of your body, just start moving parts, your hands perhaps, your neck, and ask her if you are embodying her. How do you move your arms? How do you move your hands? Let her show you and you can just do so. Then get up and walk around a little bit. How does she walk? And find her sound. Say hello.
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 You can say something that she would do to the person who is photographing her right now. What might she say to him or her? Does it look good?
Yes.
Did you want some wine?
Like me.
Hello.
Hello.
Maybe you should have some wine.
Perhaps. Good.
Mother.
And if you go ahead and once you come back to a place of neutral and kind of just close your eyes. You're still this beautiful woman in front of you. Just close your eyes, see her, and just kind of release out of your body, Star Trek-ish, atom by atom, just kind of separates from your body and goes up to the picture that is her in your creative imagination. As she exists, continues to exist up there, but let it all go out of you and you come back to you in your body.
I have an object. And I am going to see if I can bring the camera to the object. Can anyone see it? Okay, can you see?
Oh, yes.
Pinocchio head,
Yes. It's got a nose.
hat,
It's green. Hat. Yes.
So what you can see of it. So I'd like you to imagine this is coming, dropping down from that unlimited sphere of imagination. And this is what you see so far. And what that is and what the rest of it is, you don't know. But when you're ready, imagine that it comes upon you, and maybe it gets you up, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Maybe it has a sound.
Oh,
No. No.
yeah.
No.
Oh, it's beautiful to be alive today.
No.
Uh-oh, now it shows a little more of itself. What is that going to be? Repeat after me. My name is, and just let whatever comes follow. And repeat it until something comes.
My name is Peter.
My name is Heber.
My name is Curly.
I like Papo.
Oh, and now you only have what you can see. You start to lose parts of it, and then more and more and more. Okay. And we send our image back up to the sphere, the unlimited sphere of imagination. And thank you, everyone, so much for
I want this doll.
for a wonderful, wonderful Chekhov on your feet exercising process.
My favorite person is...
One minute on your imaginary bodies.
We took a scene from Golden Boy. We all did the same scene. Now in chaos.